So at work, we use Loggly as our log aggregator, which has great search functionality, but has some significant usability issues. And over time, I've been trying to make up for those usability issues with bookmarklets. For example, one bookmarklet I have allows me to take a JSON payload from one of the grid cells, double-click, and then open that JSON payload inside of this modal window. This entire modal window is generated using my bookmarklet. And this has been super, super helpful. But one thing it doesn't really allow me to do is share this information easily with anyone else on my team. So what I've finally done is now added an Explore button which cross-posts this JSON payload over to my JSON Explorer app using the window fragment. So if you watch, if I click here, we open up in a new tab, and what you can see is that the fragment here is a base64 encoded version of that JSON payload, which this page then parses, which then reads and then parses as that JSON struct and renders it here as this interactive, Angular application. So now I can take this URL and I can paste it over to a teammate, and my teammates can then look at the log items that I'm looking at, which you can see here as someone trying to hack the system, which of course they cannot. Now the nice thing about using the location hash is that the location hash never goes to the server, it's only transmitted over the browser. So when I open this up in GitHub Pages never sees the JSON payload, so it's pretty secure. Of course, if I paste this via Slack to a teammate, Slack will know about it, but Slack's a private system. So this is going to be really great, especially for debugging incidents, because now what I can do is I can quickly go through a bunch of error logs and then open them up in different tabs, and now I'll have a recording of the debugging process, essentially, which currently is next to impossible in Loggly, because from the grid view there's really no effective way to share an item. I mean, there's things I can do here, and I can go back to the events view, and there's a link to a log, but it's very slow, it's very janky, and switching from the grid view to the events view is actually quite slow. So it's just, again, Loggly is great for search, not so great for usability. So I'm trying to make up that gap with my bookmarklets here, and I think being able to cross-post JSON over to my JSON Explorer is just going to be super, super helpful. And actually, let me just quickly show you how this works. So if we jump over into the browser here, into the code, here's my bookmarklet, and I'm essentially taking this Explorer link, and if we jump down into what happens when I double-click into the grid cells, we grab the JSON content from the current grid cell, and you'll see down here I am attempting to set the attribute, the href attribute of the Explorer link, and I'm going to post it over to my JSON Explorer application, and I'm going to include, again, as the location hash, the B2A, or the binary to ASCII, which does the base64 encoding of that JSON payload, which is how we get that long crazy string here in the URL. And that's it. So I'm pretty excited about this. I really do think it's going to make debugging a whole lot easier.